Lesson 4.3, Checking for Reasonableness. Before we can check for reasonableness, we need to first look at how do we do the division. I know we already looked at this, but I want to show it one more time. So right here I have a problem that I've worked through, and I have all of the steps that I did. And so this might be a good opportunity to continue to pause the video as we go through and look at each step one at a time. So we're starting with 59 divided by 3. So my first step is division, and I want to know how many times does 3 go into 5? And I'm going to write that answer above 5, and you can see I wrote it in orange. Every one of these I wrote in a different color until we start over doing division. That comes back to orange. So we have our orange, it goes up here. So 3 goes into 5 one time. Step 2 is multiplication. It's the number I just wrote, that 1, times my divisor, which is 3. And my answer goes underneath the 5. So look where that is. 1 times 3 is 3. The next step is subtract. Subtract the tens column. So I have 5 minus 3 equals 2. And the answer goes right underneath that 3. This next one, I'm going to bring down the digit in the ones column, and the answer goes next to the 2. So I have my 2 here. I go to the ones column, which is 9, and I bring it down, and I put it right here next to the 2. And then I start back at division. How many times does my divisor go into 29? And where I get that from is, here's my divisor. How many times does 3 go into 29? And I came up with 3 goes into 29 9 times. Then I go to multiplication. It's the number I just wrote times my divisor. So just like before I did 1 times 3 is 3, now I'm going to do 9 times 3 is 27. Then I go to subtraction. Subtract the number. So 29 minus 27. 9 minus 7 is 2. 2 minus 2 is nothing. So I have 2. And then at this point, if there are no more numbers to bring down, take your leftover and put it next to your answer as a remainder. So for now, we're going to work with remainders. And so I take my 2 and I bring it next to my answer as a remainder. So my answer for 59 divided by 3 is 19 remainder 2. Let's look at the steps one more time of how I did that. Okay, this might be a spot where you might want to pause the video and look at just these. And if you can read those, practice doing those steps over and over again. And you can do them with any numbers. It doesn't have to be 59 divided by 3. You can use these same exact steps for any division problem that you're doing. All right, next we're going to go over here and check for reasonableness. Now what I mean by checking for reasonableness is just looking, does this make sense? So to be able to answer does it make sense, we need to do something a little bit different. And the great thing about division is it has an opposite. And its opposite is multiplication. So watch what we do. We read this problem. Stovall Middle School has 94 kids going on a field trip. There needs to be 1 chaperone for every 7 students. How many chaperones will they need? So, you know what? Maybe this would be a good opportunity to see what you know. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can solve this problem? All right, let's check it out. All right, so I did the work over here. I did 94 divided by 7 because there were 94 kids and 1 chaperone for every 7 students. So 7 goes into 9 2 times. And then I take that number, 7 times 1 is 7. 9 minus 7 is 2. I bring down the 4. And then I start over. 7 goes into 24. 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. Subtraction, 24 minus 21 is 3. There's nothing left over here, so I just do 23 remainder 3. Now we need to check my work to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. And so I take my answer times my divisor, so 23 times 7, and I'd like to get my dividend. So 7 times 3 is 21. Carry the 2. 7 times 2 is 14. Plus 2 is 16. So 161. Is that the number I started with? No, it is not. So I made a mistake somewhere, so I need to do it again. Okay, 94 divided by 7. 7 goes into 9 one time. You know what? That's where my mistake was. I put a 2 over here before, but it's really only supposed to be a 1. So I work through it. 1 times 7 is 7. 9 minus 7 is 2. Bring down the 4. 7 goes into 24 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. 24 minus 21 is 3. And that's my leftover is 13 remainder 3. So I realized where I made a mistake. And now I need to look at how many chaperones do I need? 13? 13 remainder 3? Ask yourself, can I have a remainder of a person? No, we really can't. So we would need to have at least 14 chaperones for that. All right, let's look at some practice problems. Question number 1, 823 divided by 3. Please, you can pause the video and solve this problem. We'll go for the answer on Monday in class. Question number 2, 425 divided by 8. And question number 3, 213 divided by 5. And these are the steps for how we check for reasonableness within division. If you have any questions, please make sure you join me in a small group, and have a great weekend.